5 years ago, Ethan Hayes lunged to save Ava Reed from a speeding car. He succeeded, but the impact ruptured a vast deference, rendering him sterile. Yet Ava, unfazed, insisted on marrying him. In the years that followed, Ethan poured every ounce of his love into her. When she mentioned she liked roses, he bought a plot of land and cultivated a field for her, planting every variety she adored by hand. At charity auctions, if she so much as glanced at an item, he'd run up the bid just to win it for her, no matter the cost. To repay his devotion, Ava had a tradition. Every anniversary, she would dive in the ocean herself to find a unique seashell on which she would engrave their initials. This was their 5th anniversary. For such shells sat on Ethan's nightstand. It all shattered when a business rival leaked a story that went viral on X. Ethan learned that Ava had another man, and that she was more than 3 months pregnant. That night, Ava knelt before him, begging for forgiveness. She claimed she'd been drunk, had mistaken someone else for him. She slapped her own face again and again, her words choked by sobs. "Ethan, you have to believe me. I'll get rid of it. I swear, I won't let this baby be born." Swallowing his agony, Ethan forgave her. "I've been seeing a specialist," he told her, his voice tight. "He says there's still a chance for me to recover. Ava, trust me. We'll have our own child." She collapsed into his arms, weeping. "I trust you. I'll be with you through all of it." Soon after, she announced a work trip to London. It stretched into 6 months. On the day of their 5th anniversary, Ava promised she'd fly back, saying she'd already booked a suite at the Drake Hotel. He rushed to the hotel, but what he saw stopped his heart. In the private dining room next to their suite, Ava was surrounded by her parents and a crowd of their closest friends, all raising their glasses in a toast. The most glaring detail, the one that burned itself into his memory, was the infant cradled in Ava's arms. A cold dread washed over him. As Ethan moved to confront them, he overheard their conversation through the partially opened door. "Leo, I know it's been hard on you these last few days," Ava was saying, her voice soft. "You've been taking care of the baby all by yourself. Don't worry, I won't let you down." "It's okay, Ava. I get it," a young man's voice replied. He wrapped an arm around her, pressing a tender kiss to her forehead. "Mister, Hayes has done so much for you. You don't want to upset him. I understand." "Ava, it's getting late." Another woman, one of her bridesmaids, chimed in. "Your husband is probably here by now. Shouldn't we get going?" "Yeah, we don't want him to find out," another friend added. "The baby's only a month old. We've worked so hard to keep this a secret for you. Don't let it slip now." Ethan scanned the faces in the room, each one familiar, each one smiling. Ava's friends, the people he'd welcomed into his home, they were all in on it. He pressed a hand to his mouth, his face draining of all color. "What's there to be afraid of?" Ava's mother scoffed, holding the baby. "He can't get my daughter a child. Now that I finally have a grandson, if he dares to cause any trouble, I'll make him pay." She then turned to Ava, her voice a conspiratorial whisper. "This baby is a Reed, and Leo has agreed the baby will take our name. He can't be separated from his mother forever. Ava, you need to figure something out. Bring Leo back to the house to live with you. Just tell Ethan he's your cousin." That story that went viral never showed Leo's face. "Ethan won't know who he is." Ava nodded. "I know, Mom. The baby's here now. There's nothing Ethan can do about it." The cold, detached look in her eyes sent a chill through Ethan's veins. He couldn't believe it. The woman who had loved him for 5 years had been deceiving him all along. Even her parents, her friends, everyone he thought was on his side. They were all part of the lie. Everyone knew. Everyone but him. "Oh, Ava, don't forget this," the man Leo said, pulling a seashell from his pocket. "It's your 5th anniversary. You have to give him shell, same as always. It's fake, but you have to keep up the act." Ava took the shell, her fingers lacing with Leo's. "You think of everything, Leo. I almost forgot." Leo's smile was radiant. "The baby's identity is still a secret. You have to play the part of the good wife? Okay." Her friends started teasing her. "I bet Ethan has no idea that only the first shell was real, right? All the others have been fakes. And he thinks you're so devoted, diving into the ocean for him every year." "Ava, you're a genius," another friend laughed. "A $5 shell instead of a real anniversary gift. That's brilliant. I'm taking notes." A tremor ran through Ethan's body, his heart seizing in his chest. He hadn't just been wrong about her love. Even the precious shells, the symbols of her devotion he cherished, they were all fake. What part of the last 5 years had been real? His mind went blank. His legs gave out, and he nearly collapsed on the floor. Ethan didn't remember how he left the hotel. Once in the car, his driver asked, "Home, sir." "Home." Ethan glanced down at the wedding band on his finger. He was about to lose the only home he'd ever known. "Take me to my lawyer's office." It was late when he finally returned to the house. The moment he stepped inside, a scene unfolded that drove a knife deeper into his heart. Ava had actually brought the man and the baby home. She was holding the infant, her face alight with joy. "Leo, he just smiled," she cried out. "See? The baby loves being with his mom. Ava, can we just stay together? Please." "Yes," she whispered. The way they stood together, they looked like a family. A perfect family. Ethan stood frozen in the doorway, the air stolen from his lungs. "Sir, you're back," the housekeeper said, breaking the spell. Ava jumped, quickly handing the baby to Leo and putting distance between them. "Ethan, where have you been? It's our anniversary. Why weren't you at the hotel?" Seeing the panic in her eyes, Ethan was too heartbroken to speak. He had been there. He had seen everything. "Ethan, I want you to meet my cousin, Leo Vance," she said, her voice strained. "His wife passed away recently, leaving him with their newborn. My parents asked me to help out, so I brought them here." Leo turned his handsome face toward Ethan and offered a polite smile. "You must be Ethan. It's nice to meet you. I'm Leo, Ava's cousin." Watching their performance, Ethan felt a wave of exhaustion. Leo was good-looking, maybe in his early 20s, with features that bore a faint, mocking resemblance to his own. Ethan clutched the divorce papers in his hand, the pain too immense for words. She had actually brought them into his home. Her excuse was so absurd, so laughable, yet she delivered it with such a straight face. "What's that in your hand?" Ava asked, her eyes lighting up with a false hope. "Is it the report from your doctor's appointment? Let me see. Is the treatment working?" It was working. He was almost fully recovered, but he no longer had any desire to share that news with her. As Ava reached for the papers, Leo suddenly cried out, "Oh, Ava, the baby's crying. Is he hungry? Is he?" Ava instantly retracted her hand and took the infant from Leo, heading toward the kitchen. "I'll go warm up a bottle." Leo leaned in, whispering playfully in her ear, "After you feed him, will you go get me a matcha latte?" Okay. You're such a child. You've always spoiled me. I'll go right now." Ava started for the door, then paused as if remembering something. She glanced back at Ethan. "Ethan, do you want a matcha latte?" He watched her, a bitter tremor on his lips. "I'm allergic to matcha." Ava froze, a flicker of confusion in her eyes before she recovered. "Oh, I'm sorry, Ethan, I forgot. I'll be right back. Oh, and here." She pressed the cheap seashell into his hand. "This is your anniversary present. I was late to the hotel because I had to dive for this. It was really hard work." Ethan looked down at the shoddy trinket. How had he ever believed they were real? "Ava," he asked, his voice deceptively calm, "is your cousin's baby just a month old?" He managed to smile. "That's quite a coincidence. If you hadn't miscarried, our baby would be a month old now, too." Panic flared in her eyes. She grabbed his hand, her voice earnest. "Ethan, what are you thinking? He really is just my cousin. The baby is his. We've always been close. That's why I brought him here. Don't overthink it. I'm going to run his errand. I'll be back soon." The front door clicked shut. A bitter smile twisted Ethan's lips. When you start with one lie, you have to build a mountain of them to keep it standing. He couldn't live in that mountain. He had to get out. The moment Ava was gone, Leo stepped forward. "Ethan, please don't misunderstand. Ava was just worried about the baby. That's why she asked me to move in. I'm a single dad. I don't know what I'm doing. I promise I won't be a bother." Looking at the feigned apology on his face, Ethan spoke, his voice flat and cold. "I know the baby is Ava's, and I know who you are. You're the man from the headlines 5 months ago, aren't you?" Leo froze. His eyes widened, and a flicker of a triumphant smile crossed his lips before he could hide it. But Ethan saw it. You know? Ethan saw the provocation in his eyes and let out a cold laugh. So the innocent boy-next-door act was just that, an act. "Since you know," Leo said, dropping the pretense, "I won't bother hiding it." He sneered. "You can't give her a child, and you're getting old. Women are all the same. You'll get used to it. You probably don't know, but Ava says she loves how I am in bed. Because you're like a corpse. You don't know how to please her." The words were a physical blow. Ethan's wedding vows echoed in his mind. "I, Ava Reed, swear to love only Ethan Hayes for the rest of my life. Whether he can have children with me or not, I will love only him. I will never betray him." It had only been 5 years. Her act had only lasted 5 years. "Fine," Ethan said, his voice hollow. "In that case, I'll get out of your way. Here are the divorce papers." Just as he was about to hand them over, Leo suddenly dropped to his knees, clutching at Ethan's legs. "Ethan, please, I'm begging you, don't kick me out. I'll just stay until the baby's first birthday. I promise I'll leave then." Tears streamed down his face. Before Ethan could react, the front door opened. Ava was back. Seeing Leo on the floor, her face hardened. She rushed over, and pulled him to his feet. "What are you doing on the floor with the baby?" Before Leo could answer, she shot a glare at Ethan. "Ethan, if you didn't want Leo here, you could have just said so. Did you have to do this the moment I left? He's holding a baby. How could you make him kneel?" Her accusations were relentless, leaving him no room to explain. Watching her shield Leo protectively, Ethan felt a thick knot form in his throat, choking him. "No, Ava, you misunderstood," Leo said softly, wiping his tears. "It was my fault. I just lost my balance and fell." Ava wasn't listening. "Lost your balance? Your eyes are red from crying. If you just fell, why would you be crying like this?" She wrapped her arm around Leo, her gaze turning cold as she faced Ethan. "Ethan, I don't care if you believe me or not, but I told you he's my cousin, and I don't care if you like it or not. Leo is staying here. He's been raising this child alone for a month. It's hard work. You've never been a father, so you can't understand the struggle. You should be more compassionate. You've never been a father. It was always the people closest to you who knew exactly where to stick the knife." A laugh escaped Ethan's lips, a broken, hollow sound that quickly turned into a sob. "Ava, do you remember why I lost my chance to be a father? I'll give you one last chance. Who is he? Is he really just your cousin?" His words seemed to finally hit her, and she realized how cruel she'd been. "Ethan, that's not what I meant. You're being too sensitive. He really is just my cousin." "Ethan, please don't be angry," Leo interjected, handing the baby to the housekeeper. He picked up a cup of tea from the counter. "Let me offer you some tea as an apology. Please don't blame Ava." He walked toward Ethan, then suddenly stumbled, sending the ceramic mug crashing to the floor. Shards scattered everywhere. He immediately knelt to pick them up, cutting his hand on a sharp piece. Blood welled from the cut. Ava panicked. She rushed to Leo and pulled him up. "Don't move. Who told you to apologize to him? You did nothing wrong. Leo, you listen to me. You're part of this family now, and I won't let you hurt yourself like this." Leo frowned, whispering, "But my status is so low, not like Ethan." "What about him? We have a child. I don't want my son to lose his father." Their voices faded as they went upstairs. Ethan stood in the shadows, blood slowly trickling down his calf. He couldn't feel a thing. A shard from the shattered mug had sliced his leg open, but in Ava's eyes, there was only Leo. There was no him. He remembered the day he'd saved her, the day he'd almost died. She had clutched his hand, cried like a child. "Ethan, if you just pull through this, I swear I will never let you get hurt again." A dull, throbbing pain finally registered from the wound. Ethan sank to his knees, his body shaking with silent sobs. That night, Ava did not return to their room. The morning sun streamed through the windows, casting a pale light on Ethan's face. He was woken by a commotion outside. He opened the door and saw the housekeeper directing a team of workers toward the guest room. "Hurry up. I've given you the design plans. Get the nursery finished as soon as possible. The young master is already here. We need to get it done and aired out." He walked to the railing and looked down from the second floor. Housekeepers were carrying in boxes of baby supplies. A crib, a stroller, formula, diapers, filling the room to the brim. Leo stood watching, a thoughtful frown on his handsome face. "Ava, the baby's only a month old. Did you have to buy so much? What if Ethan sees this? Won't he be upset? The only thing you need to worry about right now is the baby," Ava said, taking his hand. "Don't concern yourself with anything else." She led him to the dining table. "My parents also sent gifts for the baby. Go on, open them." Leo opened the boxes to find a collection of expensive accessories and several high-end watches. "Wow, this is too much." He quickly tried to put them back. "I don't deserve these. They should be for Ethan. He doesn't need them. They're for you and the baby. Go on, take them." Ava pulled a ring from one of the boxes and slid it onto his finger. "I can't give you a wedding, and I can't give you the title of my husband. I just hope you don't blame me." "How could I blame you? Being with you, having our child. I'm already so happy." They embraced, looking for all the world like a pair of star-crossed lovers. Ethan looked away, turned, and walked back into his room. He picked up the divorce papers. He found a last page, grabbed a pen, and went back downstairs. "Ava, I need you to sign something." They quickly separated when they saw him. Ava looked flustered, trying to explain. "Ethan, Leo wasn't feeling well, so I was just..." Ethan said with a faint smile. "I know. He's exhausted from taking care of the baby. You were just supporting him." He held out the pen. "Sign this." "What is it?" Ava started to flip through the document, but Leo tugged on her arm. "Ava, you said you'd go with me to buy some baby clothes." "All right, I'll be right there." Ava turned back, quickly scrawling her name on the signature line without reading. "Ethan, whatever you need to buy, just buy it. You don't need my signature." Ethan met Leo's gaze over her shoulder. It was clear he knew exactly what the document was. He realized Leo's interruption had been deliberate, to stop her from asking questions, to ensure she signed the divorce agreement without a second thought. Ethan looked down at the signature on the papers and smiled grimly. This made things easier. He didn't have to fight. With the signed agreement in hand, Ethan slipped the emerald heirloom ring from his own ring finger. Leo, this is for you. Isn't that the ring my mom gave you? Ava frowned. That's our family's heirloom ring. It's our wedding ring, meant for my husband. Why are you taking it off? Your mother said this ring brings safety and that jade wards off disaster. Leo's child is so young. He and the baby need it more than I do. Without waiting for a reply, he slid the ring onto Leo's ring finger. I wish the baby a long and healthy life. And I wish you a happy family of 3. He left the last part unspoken. Ava looked at him with gratitude. Ethan, thank you. When Leo's child turns 1, I'll have him return the ring to you. He just smiled. We'll see. I'm going with Leo to buy clothes for the baby. I'll be back later for dinner. Oh, Ethan, the doctor said yesterday that Leo is a little anemic and needs to build up his strength. Would you mind making some slow-cooked beef stew for him? Ethan's eyes finally reddened. And if I say no? Ava's brow furrowed. Can't you just do it as a favor to me? Ava, if this is the last thing you ever ask of me, it doesn't matter if it's the first or the last. Just make the stew. The baby is the most important thing. Before Ethan could answer, she had already left with Leo. After they were gone, Ethan drove to the county courthouse. There's a 1-month waiting period. After that, you can come back to pick up the divorce decree. A weight lifted from his chest. On the way home, Ethan stopped at the market. Since it was Ava's last request, he would grant it. He personally selected the best cut of beef and returned to the villa to prepare dinner. Over the years, Ethan had cooked countless times. Ava was a picky eater, and only the meals he made himself ever seemed to suit her palate. When they were first married, he had happily cooked for her every day. Later, she'd said she felt bad for him and told him to stop. He never imagined the next time she'd ask him to cook, it would be for another man. The stew simmered for nearly 2 hours. Ethan carefully carried the hot pot to the table. Just then, Ava returned with Leo. It smells delicious, Ethan. Thank you for your hard work. Leo walked over, and Ethan immediately noticed the new diamond watch on his wrist, a limited edition, the latest model. Nice watch, he commented casually. Leo made a show of taking it off. I saw it when we were shopping, and Ava bought it for me. Do you like it, Ethan? You can have it. Ava placed a hand on his. Don't take it off. I bought it for you, so it's yours. Ethan, I got you a gift too. She handed him a beautifully wrapped box. She didn't see the small print on the bottom. Free gift with purchase. Ethan felt his heart being sliced into 1,000 pieces. Thank you, he managed to say. Let's eat. He forced a smile, accepted the gift, and ladled a bowl of stew for Leo. Leo took one bite and immediately gagged. Oh, this smells awful. The metallic taste is so strong. He covered his mouth. It's disgusting. Get away from me. Ethan, if you didn't want to cook, you didn't have to. It tastes weird. It's making me sick. Take it away. Get away now. Ava rushed to his side, ordering the housekeeper to clear the table. As the housekeeper reached for the stew pot, Ava suddenly waved her hand dismissively, knocking the searingly hot pot directly onto Ethan's arm. He cried out in pain. The housekeeper jumped back. Sir, are you all right? Ethan, what happened? Ava was startled too. She started to check on him, but Leo suddenly clutched his stomach. It hurts. Ava, my stomach really hurts. What was in that stew, Ethan? Ethan Hayes, look what you've done. If anything happens to Leo, I'll never forgive you. Without another glance at Ethan, she turned and helped Leo towards the door. Quick, driver, bring the car around. We're going to the hospital. Watching her retreating back, Ethan looked down at his scalded arm. The burning pain felt like a fireball, incinerating every last shred of hope and love in his heart. Sir, what's wrong with her? The housekeeper asked, bringing over the first aid kit to treat his burn. She grumbled under her breath. She never used to be like this. They say men change, but nobody says women do too. After everything you've done for her, just because you can't have children anymore. She trailed off. Ethan looked at the mess on the floor and let out a soft, bitter laugh. That was the last meal I'll ever cook for you, Ava. That night, Ethan tossed and turned, finally falling into a heavy sleep around dawn. He hadn't been asleep for long when he was violently shaken awake. He opened his eyes to see Ava's furious face looming over him. You can actually sleep. She dragged him from the bed. The raw burn on his arm screamed in protest, a searing pain that shot through his entire body. In the dim morning light, he found himself kneeling on the floor, looking up at her. What are you doing? What am I doing? I'm asking you. Why did you put rat poison in the beef stew? Do you have any idea that Leo almost died? What? Ethan blinked. unable to believe what he was hearing. You're saying I poisoned the stew? Ava, why would I do that? Because you can't stand to see me being nice to him. Ethan, in all these years, I've never shown kindness to another man. I brought Leo here because I felt sorry for him, all alone with a child. If you had a problem with it, you could have told me. Why resort to such a disgusting trick? You've disappointed me so much. Her voice escalated. Is it just like Leo said? Because you can't have children, you're jealous of him? You want him dead? Ava was trembling with rage. Her accusations felt like shards of ice piercing his veins. You don't believe me. You did something wrong, and you refuse to admit it. She looked down at him coldly. Get up. We're going to the hospital to apologize to Leo. And if I don't? He asked, his eyes red-rimmed. Her gaze was glacial. You're going whether you like it or not. I've spoiled you for too long, and it's made you into this monster. This time, you will take responsibility for what you've done. She dragged him to the hospital. The moment they entered the room, she let go of him and rushed to Leo's bedside, her voice softening. How are you? Does it still hurt? I'm okay now, Ava. I was so scared when you left. I thought I was going to die, and my son would be left without a father. Silly, why would I leave you? Ethan is here. He's come to apologize. Ethan walked over and met Leo's eyes. Leo, did you tell Ava I put rat poison in the stew? Leo wore the same innocent expression, but Ethan now knew what kind of person he truly was. He hadn't put anything in the stew. There was only one possibility. Leo had poisoned himself to frame him. So much for the innocent act. The man who had managed to get Ava pregnant and convince her to keep the baby was anything but simple. It's okay, Ethan, Leo said, blinking his guileless eyes. I know you didn't mean it. Just be more careful next time. It's all Ava's fault for caring about me so much. Please don't be angry. But maybe you shouldn't cook anymore. What if you accidentally put something else in the food and the baby ate it by mistake? At the mention of the baby, Ava's heart jumped. She shot a look at Ethan, then said, All right, Ethan. Starting tomorrow, you'll move into the apartment in the complex next door. I own a place there. You can stay there until I find a suitable home for Leo and the baby. The burn on his arm throbbed painfully. A cold sweat broke out on Ethan's forehead, and his lips were pale. But Ava didn't see. He pressed his colorless lips together and nodded calmly. Fine, I'll move out as soon as possible and make space for you. Seeing the indifference in his eyes, Ava felt a pang of guilt. That's not what I meant. It's just for a few days. Ethan, you can understand, right? I understand, Ethan said with a weak smile. He had to leave eventually anyway. Good. And to show Leo you're sorry, prepare a gift for him when he's discharged tomorrow. Ethan's face grew paler, almost translucent. Fine, I know what to do. He already had the perfect gift in mind. No sooner had Ethan returned home than the movers arrived. The housekeeper directed them to pack up all his personal belongings and move them to the adjacent complex. Watching the things he and Ava had bought together being carried away, one by one, the pain in his heart began to numb. He had to move out sooner or later. It was better not to have to do it himself. Sir, it will take a few days to get the other place set up, the housekeeper told him. Ma'am said you can stay here for another 2 days before moving. Ethan nodded. Okay. Afterward, he went to the rose garden. It was May, and the roses were in full bloom. He instructed the gardener to cut every single one of them within the day and have them sent to Leo. Sir, aren't these roses your pride and joy? The gardener asked, confused. Usually you only cut a few at a time. You want to cut them all? Yes. Ethan sat on a nearby bench and watched as the workers spent the entire day harvesting the vast garden, loading the blooms onto a truck. As the sun set, casting a violet-pink glow across the sky, he picked up a torch. He set the remaining stems and bushes ablaze. The firelight danced with the colors of the sunset, a beautiful and heartbreaking sight. My God, sir, what are you doing? The gardener cried. You planted these flowers for her with your own hands. How can you burn them? It's such a waste. She'll never have time to come here and see the roses again, Ethan said, his voice devoid of emotion. In that case, let them burn along with the past. Staring into the flames, Ethan pulled out his phone and called his sister, who was running their family's business overseas. Catherine, what country are you in? I'd like to come see you in a few days. What's wrong? Coming for a vacation? Bringing your wife? Just me. Send me your address. I'll be there soon. Alone? Did you two fight? It's normal for couples to argue, Ethan. Let the past be the past. You can't keep holding on to things. Didn't she get rid of the baby? The baby will be born soon. I've already signed the divorce papers with Ava. As soon as the decree is finalized, I'm coming to you. That bitch, Catherine hissed. Don't worry, Ethan. Your big sister is here for you. The Hayes family business is 10 times the size of the Reeds. You think we can't find you someone better? Since that woman betrayed you, I'm pulling all our business deals with her family. And this time, you better not try to stop me. Okay, Ethan said quietly. Whatever you think is best, Catherine. Their parents were long gone, but Catherine had built an empire for herself in Europe. Leveraging the Hayes family's old connections, she had thrown a lot of business the Reeds way over the years. Ava had no idea. Now that the divorce was happening, Ethan wanted no more ties to her, including business. After hanging up, Ethan returned to the house. The roses had been delivered. Leo was standing in a mountain of blooms, beaming with joy. Ava, I love them. Did you get these for me? I'm a grown man, and this is the first time anyone's ever given me flowers. Ava looked at the roses, a flicker of familiarity in her eyes. She asked the housekeeper, who told her they were a gift from Ethan, an apology for Leo. Ava frowned, a heavy feeling settling in her chest. Then she saw Ethan standing in the courtyard. He looked so lonely, his figure gaunt in the twilight. Ethan, you're back? Yeah. The other place isn't ready yet. I'll be gone in a couple of days. He walked past her toward the door. Ava grabbed his arm. Don't be like this. I'm not kicking you out. This is your home. As soon as Leo finds a suitable place. I know, he cut her off. If there's nothing else, I'm going to my room. Ava started to follow, but Leo stopped her. Ava, you promised you'd spend time with me. That night, Ava did not return to their room. Ethan stepped out of the shower. The bedroom door opened, and Ava wrapped her arms around him from behind. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know I've been neglecting you. Once Leo leaves, it won't be like this anymore, okay? Disappointment had piled up, one betrayal at a time. Ethan gently pushed her away. I think the baby's crying. Shouldn't you go check? Is he? Okay, I'll just go see. I'll be right back. She didn't come back. Late into the night, a sharp, twisting pain erupted in Ethan's lower abdomen. He fumbled for the bedside lamp, trying to get out of bed, but his legs wouldn't support him. Ava, he called out, his voice strained. Ava, it hurts. He yelled her name with all his strength, but there was no response. He finally managed to grab his phone and dialed her number. Hello? Ethan, what do you want? It was Leo's voice on the other end. I'm sorry. Ava was telling me and the baby a story all night. She's exhausted and fell asleep. What do you need? You can tell me. Tell Ava. I don't feel well. Tell her to come back to the room. You don't feel well? Leo suddenly laughed. Give me a break. You're a sterile man. What could possibly be wrong with you? And you want to know something? Even if I put her on the phone, she wouldn't care. Before Ethan could reply, he heard Leo's voice in the background. Ava, wake up. Ethan says he doesn't feel well. He wants you to go to him. Ava's sleepy voice came on the line. What's wrong? Before Ethan could speak, Leo's voice cut in again. Great. Now he's woken up the baby. He was finally asleep, and one phone call in the middle of the night wakes him up. Look, Ava, he's crying so hard. Didn't the doctor say the baby needs his sleep to grow? Oh, baby, don't cry. It's okay. Ava's voice, sharp with irritation, came through the phone. Ethan, have you made enough trouble for one night? I just told you today, if you don't like this, you can talk to me. Are you calling in the middle of the night just to wake up Leo's baby? If you're not feeling well, go to the hospital. Don't call here again. The line went dead. No matter how many times Ethan called her name, there was only silence. The pain intensified, and Ethan's face grew pale. Covered in a cold sweat, he reached for his medication on the nightstand, but the bottle was gone. It hurt so much, he gasped. He searched everywhere, but his medicine had vanished. He distinctly remembered leaving it right there. His face was as white as a sheet. His doctor had just told him that he had to take the medication on schedule, or he would lose any chance of ever having children again. Help, he cried, forcing himself to crawl out of the room. Somebody help me. What is all this noise? Ava emerged from the other room, with Leo leaning on her for support. She saw Ethan collapsed on the floor, and her expression changed. Ethan, what's wrong with you? She started towards him, but Leo's voice, laced with mock pity, stopped her. Ethan, you don't have to do this. Ava was just in my room helping with the baby. I already explained everything. Why won't you listen? For a man to be this petty, it's really something else. Ethan shook his head, his explanation weak. No, Ava, I really don't feel well. And my medicine. Ethan, I know you're jealous that I can have children and that I moved in here, Leo said, his voice dripping with false sympathy. So you're trying every trick in the book to keep me and the baby from sleeping. But it's not necessary. Acting like this will only make Ava hate you more. Leo's words hit their mark. Ava stopped in her tracks. Have you had your fun yet? Ethan, I don't have time to play these games. Don't you know that infants need their sleep? Go back to your room. If you make another sound, you can go sleep in the other complex tonight. Ava, you're going to regret this. The door slammed shut with a deafening bang, sending a cold draft through the hallway. Staring at Ava's retreating back, Ethan could no longer hold on. He passed out. He woke up in a hospital. The room was stark white and empty, except for him. He could hear nurses chatting in the hallway. Did you hear? Ava Reed and her husband were brought in. Some kind of sexcapade gone wrong. They got stuck. Really? I remember Mr. Hayes was just in for a checkup. The doctor said he shouldn't be having sex at all right now. I don't know. The paramedics brought them in, so they were playing pretty rough and couldn't get separated. Some kind of bondage gear malfunction. Wow, rich people really are wild. Listening to their voices, Ethan slowly closed his eyes. He was in the hospital, and she was in the same hospital with another man. Incredible. A moment later, his phone rang. He answered it, and Ava's angry voice barked through the speaker. Ethan, where are you? I don't care where you are. You need to bring 2 sets of clean clothes to the hospital right now. One for me and one for Leo. Why? Ethan asked, a cold laugh escaping his lips. What kind of trouble did you two get into in the middle of the night? That's none of your business. Just bring the clothes. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been so stressed and sleepless that we decided to. Just forget it. You have 10 minutes. Get to the hospital now. Before Ethan could respond, she hung up. He stared at the dark screen, his heart aching with a pain so deep it stole his breath. The doctor came in. Mr. Hayes, how are you feeling? If your housekeeper hadn't brought you in, you might not have made it. Doctor, what happened to me? Why was I in so much pain? I'm very sorry, Mr. Hayes. We did everything we could, but you won't be able to have children in the future. Last month, your condition had almost fully recovered. Unfortunately, you developed a severe infection and didn't take your medication in time. What did you say? Ethan's lips trembled, his eyes filling with despair. He stared at the doctor, tears slowly tracing paths down his cheeks. You're saying, I'll never be able to have children. Yes. I'm sorry, Mr. Hayes. I would advise you to have Mrs. Hayes come here as soon as possible. Your recovery will take some time, and it will be best for her to be by your side. His phone buzzed incessantly. Ethan looked down. It was a stream of texts from Ava. I told you to come. Why aren't you here yet? Ethan, hurry up and bring the clothes. Are you ignoring me now? Get to the hospital. Ethan pressed his dry lips together, his body trembling uncontrollably. He fought back the wave of grief and called his best friend. Mark, come pick me up from the hospital. There's something I need your help with. As Mark was helping Ethan out of the hospital, Ava had finally been separated from Leo. She was still trying to call Ethan, but he wasn't answering. Eventually, his phone went straight to voicemail. She was about to explode with frustration when Ethan's primary doctor walked by and recognized her. Mrs. Hayes, what are you doing here? Is Mr. Hayes? Are you Ms. Ava Reed? The door to an operating room swung open, and another doctor emerged, cutting off the first. Ava rushed forward. How is he? How is Leo? Ms. Reed, your husband is fine now, but please be more careful in the future. Don't play around with things like novelty handcuffs. Understand, doctor. Your husband has been moved to a recovery room. You can see him now. Ava immediately turned and left. Ethan's doctor watched her go, a frown on his face. Her husband is in surgery? That can't be right. Mr. Hayes was in the emergency room. He was so close to making a full recovery, and now, because of this, he's lost all hope. What's going on? Does Ms. Reed have 2 husbands? Ava stopped and turned back to the doctor, her expression tense. What are you talking about? Who can't have children anymore? Of course, Mr. Before the doctor could finish, his colleague pulled him aside. It's nothing, Ms. Reed. You should go see your husband. Though she found it strange, Ava continued on her way. Her mind was entirely focused on Leo. She had no room for anything else. After Ava left, Ethan's doctor turned to his colleague, confused. What was that about? The man in there clearly wasn't her husband. Her actual husband was just picked up by a friend. You don't get it, do you, Dr. Evans? This is how the rich live. Did you really believe her when she said she didn't care about having children? I heard she's been with this new guy since last year. They even have a kid. There's no way the real Mr. Hayes didn't know. My God. Dr. Evans shook his head, sighing. Poor Mr. Hayes. He'll probably never have a child of his own now. When Ava found Leo in his room, a nurse was applying ointment to his injuries. The doctors had struggled to free him, and he'd been left with some cuts and bruises that needed tending. When he saw her, he quickly pulled the blanket up and dismissed the nurse. Feeling shy, Ava smiled. This is all your fault. You just had to try the new toys. See what happens. You didn't like it? Leo asked, then glanced at the window. It's almost morning. Hasn't Ethan brought the clothes yet? How are we supposed to leave tomorrow without them? Our other clothes were completely torn. I'll call him. Ava, fuming, tried his number again. Still no answer. Forget it. We can't count on him. I'll have a housekeeper bring them. Ava, Leo asked softly, when are you going to tell Ethan the baby is ours? We need to wait. Ava didn't know how to tell Ethan. We'll hide it for as long as we can. I know our relationship can't be public, but when the child grows up, he'll need to know who his mother is. Leo had a point. Ava bit her lip. I'll figure something out. After Mark Davis picked up Ethan from the hospital, he drove him to his place. That night, they went back to the house and moved all of Ethan's belongings. Ethan, if I'd known Ava was this kind of person, I'd have told you to let that car hit her, Mark grumbled as he helped unpack. He noticed Ethan staring motionless at his phone and walked over to see. He was looking at a Facebook post from Ava's mother. So excited to announce the birth of the Reed family's first grandson. Who said our family line was ending? Leo is truly a blessing. The post was accompanied by a picture of the 1-month-old baby. It had only been up for 15 minutes, but it was already flooded with likes and comments. Congratulations. The Reed family has an heir. Ava is amazing. A boy for her firstborn. That Leo kid is something else. He really gave the Reeds a beautiful baby boy. Glad I gave him a nice gift last Christmas. The comments were mostly from Ava's relatives and friends. From what they were saying, it was clear the entire family knew about Leo and about the baby. For a whole year, he was the only one kept in the dark. He had actually believed her 6-month absence was a business trip. They have no shame, Mark said, snatching the phone from Ethan's hand. To post that so publicly, do they have any respect for you at all? You're in this state, and she doesn't even care. She's too busy with that asshole. He was furious. Ethan, just say the word, and I'll burn them both to the ground. Ethan looked up, his face pale. Mark, book me a flight to Geneva. My sister is waiting for me. You're leaving? Mark's voice softened. So soon? Don't you need to rest for a few days? There's something I need you to do for me. Ethan turned to him. In a few days, can you go to the courthouse for me and pick up my divorce decree? You got divorced? Yeah. Mark looked like he wanted to hit something. How could she do this? Ethan, you deserved so much better. In this report, Ethan said, handing him a file. Give this to Ava for me. Mark opened it. It was a medical chart. I want you to tell her, Ethan said, his voice flat, that I once had a chance to have children, but she personally destroyed it. Mark looked at his friend, his heart breaking for him. He clapped him on the shoulder. All right, I'll take care of it. Ethan, when you get to Switzerland, take care of yourself. And please, don't ever fall for a toxic woman again. As for kids, it's not the end of the world. I hear men without kids stay young and handsome forever. Let Ava live with her regret. Mark was efficient. He quickly booked a flight to Geneva for 3 days later. On the day Ethan left for the airport, a light rain was falling. Before going inside, he checked his phone one last time. In 3 days, Ava hadn't tried to contact him once. He let out a bitter laugh. She was probably too absorbed in the joy of her new baby to bother with him. It didn't matter anymore. He no longer cared. Ethan opened his messaging app and blocked Ava's number. Then he popped the SIM card out of his phone, snapped it in half, and tossed it into a nearby trash can. Mark stood beside him, his heart aching. Call me when you get there. And don't worry, I'll handle everything you asked for. The moment I get the divorce decree, I'll mail it to you. Thanks, Mark. Ethan smiled faintly. Goodbye. He looked up at the rain-streaked sky. It had been raining just like this the day Ava proposed to him. She had knelt on one knee in front of everyone and asked him to marry her. He had asked her again and again, Ava, are you sure? I might never be able to give you children. Are you sure you want to marry me? She had nodded, her gaze unwavering. I'm sure. I don't care about having children. I only want you. Fine, he had told her. But if you ever betray me, I will disappear from your life forever. This time, he was really disappearing. Goodbye, Ava. I wish your family of 3 a lifetime of happiness. The moment Ethan's plane took off, Leo was discharged from the hospital. Ava had been by his side the entire time, not even going home once. One day, she was scrolling through her phone and saw her mother's Facebook post. Her mother happened to be visiting at that moment, holding the baby. Ava was furious. Mom, you need to delete that post right now. What if Ethan sees it? So what if he sees it? I wanted to know this child isn't some random baby. He's a Reed. The baby is born. What do you do about it now? Divorce you? Her mother sneered. He can't have kids himself, so he's not going to let you have them with someone else? For some reason, looking at the baby, Ava didn't feel happy. Her heart was in turmoil. Mom, don't say that. It's my fault that Ethan can't have children. And that's why I let him marry you. The position of my son-in-law will always be his. Isn't that enough? Her mother paused. Speaking of which, where is Ethan? He must have seen my post by now. Hasn't he come to the hospital to see you? I don't know. His phone is off. Ava's expression was grim. There was no joy in her eyes. She was more worried about Ethan now. She wondered what he would think when he saw the post, whether he would ever forgive her. As much as she wanted a child, she did care about Ethan's feelings. He had given up so much for her. She owed him a debt she could never repay. Over the next few days, her mother shuttled back and forth between home and the hospital. Each time she came, Ava would ask anxiously, "Mom, have you seen Ethan? How is he? Is he at home? What was his reaction? What reaction could he have?" The man has to accept reality. "Don't worry, he's at home waiting for you. He's not going anywhere." Her mother's constant reassurances that Ethan was at home eventually put Ava at ease. Today was the day Leo was discharged. On the way from the hospital, she had the driver stop so she could buy some roasted chestnuts. Leo thought they were for him and reached out with a smile. "Ava, how did you know I love roasted chestnuts?" Ava set the bag aside, her voice soft. "They're not for you. They're for Ethan. He loves them. I haven't seen him in a few days. I don't know if he's upset. I bought these to cheer him up." Leo's hand froze in midair. He slowly pulled it back, a flicker of hatred in his eyes. "Oh, I see. Well, Ethan does know about the baby now. I suppose he needs some cheering up." The car pulled up to the house. Without a second thought for the baby or Leo, Ava grabbed the chestnuts and ran inside. "Ethan, I'm home." She called out his name, but there was no answer. "Ethan." She ran upstairs. His room was empty. The silence in the house was deafening. Ava's heart began to race. "Ma'am, you're back?" The housekeeper came out of the nursery. "We found a nanny. The young master will be well taken care of." "Where is he? Where is Ethan?" "My mother said he was here waiting for me." "Sir?" The housekeeper shook her head. "No, ma'am. He hasn't been home in 3 days. We thought he was at the hospital with you." "What did you say?" The bag of chestnuts slipped from Ava's hand, scattering across the floor. Her fingers trembled, her lips pressed into a thin line. It took her a moment to process the information. "I know. He must be waiting for me at the apartment next door. I'll go check." She flew down the stairs, nearly colliding with Leo and her mother, who were just coming in. "Where are you going, Ava?" "Honestly, this child," her mother clucked, "rushing around like that. You're a mother now. You need to be more composed." Ava ignored them and ran to the neighboring complex. It was dark, and the apartment was unlit. Panic set in. She used her key to let herself in. The once empty apartment was now filled with boxes and furniture, all moved from their house. It was a museum of her life with Ethan, all their memories piled on the floor in dusty heaps. The place was cold and silent. Her lips trembled. "Ethan." Only silence answered her. The place was a chaotic mess. It didn't look like anyone had been living there. Ethan wasn't here. Ethan. A wave of panic washed over her. It felt as if something vital had been ripped from her chest, taking her breath with it. "Come on, let Grandma put you to bed, my sweet little grandson." When Ava returned to the house, her mother was about to take the baby upstairs. "Mom, you told me Ethan was home these past few days. You lied to me." Faced with her daughter's accusation, her mother's expression soured. "So wat filit? Who knows where he ran off to? Isn't it better that he's not here? Now you, Leo, and the baby can be a proper family. What's so bad about that?" "Mom, Ethan is my husband. If you hadn't insisted that I keep this baby, I would have gotten rid of it a long time ago." Ava finally exploded. She couldn't lose Ethan. They had been married for 5 years. She couldn't live without him. Her mother frowned. "What's gotten into you? You wanted a child too, didn't you?" "I was just trying to do what's best for you. You're the one who said that once the baby was born, Ethan would have to accept it. You said he loved me so much he would die for me. So he would accept anything for me. But you were wrong." Ava's heart ached violently. She suddenly remembered the day he'd accepted her proposal. He had told her that if she ever betrayed him, he would disappear from her life forever. "Ava, have you made enough of a scene?" her mother snapped. "Right now, you should be focused on the baby and Leo. As for Ethan, let him go. He has no family or connections here. Do you really think he could divorce you?" "Wah-ah." The baby started to cry, and Leo joined in. "I'm sorry, Ava. I didn't know it would come to this. If Ethan still can't accept it, I'll take the baby and leave. We'll disappear forever. I'm not so shameless as to be a stumbling block in your relationship." He clutched the baby and turned to leave. Her mother couldn't stop him. "Ava, that's your son. What's more important, the baby or Ethan? That boy probably just went off to clear his head. He'll be back soon." "Ma'am, are you looking for Sir?" The housekeeper came in from outside, speaking timidly. "The day you went to the hospital, Sir collapsed. I took him to the hospital. He hasn't been back for 3 days." "You were at the hospital for 3 days. Did you not see him?" "What did you say?" Ava grabbed the housekeeper's arm, her voice frantic. "What happened to Ethan? Why did no one tell me?" "Ma'am, I called you, but you told me not to bother you, so I didn't say anything more. When Sir didn't come back, I assumed you had met him at the hospital. What was wrong with him? He wasn't feeling well. No, it was something about his medical condition, a problem with his vas deferens. The housekeeper's words sent Ava into a spiral of despair. She fumbled for her phone and called Ethan. It went straight to voicemail. She tried to send a message. Blocked. In that moment, Ava's mind went blank. What does this mean? Why would Ethan block me? Her mother, exasperated, was trying to soothe the crying baby and Leo. What else could it mean? He's throwing a tantrum. Ava, it's late. Deal with this tomorrow. Leo was just discharged, and the baby is so young. They need to rest. Ava collapsed onto the sofa, her mind replaying the look in Ethan's eyes the last time she saw him. It was a look of utter desolation, of endless despair. He must have been completely disappointed in her to leave like this. She thought of the rose garden. Maybe he went there. That was always his sanctuary when he was upset. Ava sat in the living room all night, convinced Ethan would come back. He never did. Leo came downstairs. Ava, it's so late. Come back to the room with me. Please? The baby and I. We need you. Isn't the housekeeper here? Ava pulled her arm from his grasp, her voice sharp with irritation. But you're the baby's mother. Leo pressed his muscular chest against her. Come back to bed with me, please. I'm still sore. Can you help me? He took her hand, but before he could guide it further, Ava stood up, her face a mask of disgust. Enough. You just recovered. You should be resting. If you're that uncomfortable, you and the baby can go back to the hospital tomorrow. They'll take care of you there. What? Leo looked wounded, tears welling in his eyes. You want me and the baby to go to the hospital? Ava, don't you want us anymore? The sound of his whining grated on her nerves. She didn't even have the energy to comfort him. She turned and walked toward the study. I have work to do tonight. You go to sleep. Don't wait up for me. Watching her go, Leo bit his lip. Damn you, Ethan Hayes. I refuse to believe she's still hung up on an old man like you. The position of Mr. Ree will be mine, and all that money. It will all be mine. Ethan's flight to Geneva was 10 hours long. When he landed, his sister, Catherine, was already waiting for him at the arrival gate. Ethan, seeing his pale face, Catherine rushed over. You look terrible. What happened? Catherine, I'm so tired. I just want to rest. Seeing his sister, the physical and emotional pain finally became too much to bear. His eyes welled up. Catherine put an arm around him. It's okay. I'm here now. You're staying in Switzerland with me. I won't let anyone hurt you again. Catherine, I can never have children now, but I was so close to being cured. Ethan lifted his tear-streaked face. Catherine looked as if she'd been struck by lightning. What do you mean you were almost cured? I thought your condition was permanent. What happened? Her expression hardened. It was that bitch Ava, wasn't it? You were so close, and she did this to you. Ethan, don't worry. Your sister won't let her get away with it. Catherine immediately took out her phone. Cancel all of Hayes Industries' joint ventures with the Reed Group in the States, effective immediately. And tell everyone in our network that anyone who does business with the Reeds in the future is an enemy of the Hayes family. We will treat them accordingly. After hanging up, she took off her coat and draped it over Ethan's shoulders. There, Ethan. I'm taking you home. Switzerland is beautiful. You can rest and recover here. Remember, nothing is more important than your health. Thank you, Catherine. The familiar, comforting scent of his sister's perfume helped him relax for the first time in days. He went with her to the Hayes family villa in Switzerland, located in a sun-drenched town surrounded by rolling hills of wildflowers. The air itself smelled of fresh grass. The villa was spacious but not ostentatious, staffed by 5 housekeepers Catherine had hired in advance to care for Ethan. Ethan, you just focus on getting better here. In a little while, I have to travel for business. If you feel up to it, you can come with me. If not, you can just pick a place and settle down. Catherine handed him a black credit card. Take this. It's some spending money for me. Buy whatever you want. Don't deny yourself anything. Catherine, you're too good to me. Ethan felt a lump in his throat. His sister had always taken care of him. He was a grown man, and he was still causing her trouble. Catherine pinched his cheek. Silly boy, you don't have to be formal with me. It's just you and me left in this family. I asked you to come with me so many times before, but you could never bring yourself to leave. I'm so happy you're finally here. Her eyes reddened slightly. Okay, I have to go deal with some things. You get some rest. After Catherine left, Ethan slept for a full day. He was exhausted and hadn't slept so soundly in a long time. When he woke, the setting sun painted the sky in shades of blood orange. Feeling rested, he declined the housekeeper's offer to bring dinner to his room. He needed to stretch his legs. The view from the dining room was breathtaking. A gentle May breeze drifted through the open windows, and for a moment, his mood lifted. Just as he was about to eat, the front door opened. A slender, elegant woman walked in, kicked off her high heels, and called out, "Catherine, I just got off the plane. I'm here to steal some food." The woman entered the dining room and slowly looked up. The light glinted off her silver-rimmed glasses. When she saw Ethan, her beautifully arched eyebrows rose in surprise. Ethan was just as surprised. Victoria Renault was Catherine's best friend. Ethan knew her, but he hadn't seen her in years. He never imagined she would grow up to be so striking, or that she would be in Switzerland. The woman's lips curved into a smile. "Long time no see. Do you mind if I join you for dinner?" Ethan smiled and shook his head. "Not at all." The next morning, Ava drove to the rose garden. But when she arrived, the acres of flowers had been reduced to a field of ashes. The gardener was just starting to clean up. He saw Ava and hurried over. "Ms. Reed, what are you doing here so early? What happened? Where are the roses? What happened to all the roses?" Ava grabbed the gardener's collar, her voice rising in anger. "I'm gone for a few months, and this is how you take care of the flowers? You burn them all? Do you have any idea how much you love these roses? Do you know how much work you put into them?" "Ms. Reed, please calm down," the gardener stammered. "It was Mr. Hayes who asked me to cut the flowers. And he was the one who set the fire. It had nothing to do with us." The gardener's words made Ava's eyes sting. She paused, her voice trembling when she finally spoke. "Ethan burned them himself. Yes, he said you wouldn't be coming back anymore, so there was no point in keeping them." Ava remembered the mountain of roses in her courtyard. No wonder their varieties had seemed so familiar. They were the roses Ethan had planted for her. He had cut them all down, sent them to Leo, and then burned the very ground they grew in. She released the gardener's collar and stumbled backward. "Ms. Reed, are you all right?" the gardener asked worriedly. "What should we do with this land now? Should we plant something else? Plant more roses?" "I'll plant them myself." Ava bit her lip, her eyes red. "I will make Ethan forgive me." Just as she finished speaking, her phone rang. "Ava." The voice was familiar. "It's Mark Davis." Ava remembered him as Ethan's best friend. A flicker of hope ignited in her chest. "You're Ethan's friend. Is Ethan with you? Did he ask you to call me? Tell him not to worry. I'm coming to pick him up and bring him home." "Home?" Mark scoffed. "What home? The one you share with Leo Vance?" "Ava, I don't have time for your games. Get down to the county courthouse right now." "Why?" A terrible premonition washed over her. "Why? I think you know." The line went dead. Ava sped towards the courthouse, her mind in a chaotic whirl. Why would Ethan want to meet her there? A divorce? No, she wouldn't agree to it. She just needed to see him. Once she saw him, she could make him forgive her. When she arrived, only Mark was there. He held out his hand without a word. "Your ID." "Where's Ethan?" Ava asked, her voice tight with anxiety. "Where is he? Why won't he see me?" Mark's face was a mask of contempt. "Ava, you know damn well why he doesn't want to see you. The day you slept with another man. You should have known this was coming. Stop wasting my time. Give me your ID. I want to see Ethan." Ava's voice rose, her composure cracking. Mark took a deep breath. "Fine, give me your ID, and I'll take you to him." "Really?" Without a second thought, Ava handed over her driver's license. "Come with me." Mark led her to the clerk's window. "We're here to pick up a divorce decree." "Are both parties present?" the clerk asked. "Yes," Mark said grimly. The signed agreement was filed a month ago. Ava, who had been scanning the room for Ethan, froze. "What divorce agreement? What signed? What are you talking about?" "Here is your decree, all finalized." The clerk handed Ava the document. In that moment, her world collapsed. She stared at the paper in her hands, which were trembling uncontrollably. "Impossible. What is this? Who did I divorce?" Mark sneered. "Open it and see for yourself." Ava's eyes fell on Ethan's name, printed next to hers. "This can't be happening. I never signed any divorce papers. I didn't know anything about this. Isn't there a waiting period? How could this happen? You can't just stamp a divorce decree." She rounded on the clerk, who shook her head wearily. "Ma'am, I followed procedure. You and Mr. Hayes both signed the separation agreement. Your divorce is legally binding." "I didn't sign anything." Ava denied it until Mark placed the agreement in front of her. She saw her own signature, clear as day. The memory hit her like a punch to the gut. That day, he asked me to sign something. It was the divorce papers. He had planned this all along. He had wanted to divorce her. No, impossible. Why? Why? Mark's laugh was cold. Because Ethan knew Leo Vance wasn't your cousin. He was the man from the headlines last year. You never got rid of the baby. Not only that, but your entire family, all your friends, you all conspired to lie to him. Ava, you are a piece of human garbage. Ava looked up, her eyes crimson, her voice raspy. He knew all along? How could he have known? On your 4th anniversary, you were throwing a 1-month celebration for your son. He saw everything. Ava, you are unbelievably cruel. You booked both events at the same hotel in adjacent rooms. Mark sighed. Look, there's no point in telling you all this. There's one more thing Ethan wanted me to give you, personally. He handed her Ethan's medical file. Ava, I hope you and that bastard have a miserable life together. He shoved the file into her hands and walked away without looking back. He was crying, and he knew if he stayed a second longer, he would hit her. After Mark left, Ava's trembling hands opened the file. The first page read, Ethan Hayes. She flipped through years of medical records documenting his treatment. She saw the notes from his surgery last month, and then she saw the final page. When her eyes landed on the words, permanent sterility, she finally broke. She collapsed to the floor, a strangled sob escaping her lips. A sharp, searing pain ripped through her chest, spreading through her entire body. Her throat closed up, making it almost impossible to breathe. She clutched the report, a guttural cry tearing from her throat. Ethan, no. She shook uncontrollably, and a small crowd started to gather. Ma'am, are you all right? Do you need me to call an ambulance? Isn't that Ava Reed? What's she doing at the courthouse? Don't tell me she and Ethan Hayes are getting a divorce. No way. That proposal 5 years ago was legendary. She swore she'd love him forever. How could they get divorced? Someone recognized her, and the whispers grew louder. Mark returned, his face grim. Oh, and Ethan had a message for you. He said you personally destroyed his only chance of having a child. Ava, you and that piece of trash belong in hell. You brought all of this on yourself. Don't stand here pretending to be the victim. It's disgusting. After Mark left for good, the crowd stared at Ava in disbelief. No way, did she really cheat on him? So those rumors last year were true. She cheated, had another man's baby, and somehow caused his infertility. No wonder he divorced her. Serves her right. God, rich people are the worst. The crowd dispersed, their judgment hanging in the air. Ava was left alone, kneeling on the cold floor, lost in a haze of despair. It was a long time before she moved. She tried to run after Mark, to ask where Ethan had gone, but her phone rang. She answered it distractedly. Hello, Ms. Reed, you sound terrible. Are you all right? She forced herself to sound normal. I'm fine. What is it? There's a problem at the office. We need you to come in and handle it. Are you available? Can't you handle it yourselves? I've only been out for a few days. Don't call me for this. It's not that, Ms. Reed. Multiple partners have called to terminate their contracts with us. Several key suppliers are cutting us off, and employees from every department are resigning en masse. The entire company is in chaos. If you don't come in, we don't know what to do. Ava leaned weakly against the wall. I'm on my way. She clutched the medical file to her chest for a long time before she could compose herself enough to drive. The moment she walked into the office, she was swarmed. Ms. Reed, you're finally back. Mr. Wong just called to pull out of the merger. And Mr. Lee and Mr. Song and... Enough. Call a meeting. Ava convened an emergency board meeting. The moment she sat down, a barrage of problems came at her from all sides. After several hours, someone finally got to the heart of the matter. Ms. Reed, we've heard that you and Mr. Hayes have had a disagreement. Is that true? At the mention of Ethan's name, a flicker of life returned to Ava's dull eyes. What are you trying to say? I've noticed that all of these suppliers and partners have some connection, direct or indirect, to the Hayes family. The Hayes family may have withdrawn from the domestic market years ago, but their network is still powerful. Not to mention, Catherine Hayes has become a powerhouse in Europe. If your marriage is in trouble, then I'm afraid what's happening to the company today is no coincidence. The realization hit Ava like a physical blow. She looked at the concerned faces of the shareholders and board members around the table and asked, her voice barely a whisper, what are the damages? At least $1 billion. $1 billion. It wasn't enough to bankrupt the Reed Group, but it would cripple them for years. It would take an immense amount of time and money to recover from this. Ms. Reed, what should we do? Please, say something. Can't you talk to your husband? Ask him to show us some mercy. Mercy? Ava let out a sudden, bitter laugh. When she had proposed to Ethan, it wasn't just because he had taken a bullet for her. Her mother had also pointed out that marrying him would give them access to the Hayes family network. That's why. Even though he couldn't give her a child, her mother had welcomed him into the family. But who could have predicted that Catherine Hayes would become so successful, a titan of industry with a sprawling empire? Now, everyone was clamoring for a relationship with the Hayes family. Who would care about the Reeds? And besides, she didn't even know where Ethan was. How could she ask him for anything? Ava leaned back in her leather chair, pinching the bridge of her nose. Everyone get out. I need to be alone. She stayed in the conference room all day, unable to recover from the shock of the divorce. She stared at the divorce decree, at the damning medical report, her heart feeling as if it were being eaten alive by a million tiny ants. She no longer cared about the fate of the company. All she wanted was to know where Ethan was. All she wanted was for him to come back. As if things weren't bad enough, her mother called to say the baby was suddenly sick and had been taken to the hospital. Ava didn't want to deal with it, but her mother's frantic crying on the phone wore her down. She drove to the hospital. A doctor was examining the baby. It's nothing serious. His bilirubin levels are high. It's likely ABO incompatibility. You just need some phototherapy. The doctor's simple explanation raised a red flag for Ava. Doctor, are you sure? I'm type AB, and Leo is type B. How could our child have ABO incompatibility? Hearing this, Leo, who was standing nearby, panicked. Ava, you must have misremembered. I'm type O. Ava's mother chimed in. Ava, don't hold up the baby's treatment. It's normal to get blood types mixed up. Her mother whisked the baby away, and Leo quickly followed. When he glanced back, he saw Ava still standing in the same spot, motionless. He knew the jig was up. While her mother was with the baby, Leo slipped into a corner and made a call. Ms. Renault, Ava seems to have figured out the baby isn't hers. What should I do now? You've done what I asked you to do. The money has been transferred to your account. The baby's mother is waiting for you in Omaha. You can go. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Renault. Hanging up, Leo excitedly pushed the door open, only to find Ava standing right outside. His phone almost slipped from his grasp. Ava, what are you doing here? You scared me to death. Ava's expression was dark. She advanced on him, her voice chillingly low. Tell me, is that child mine? Leo backed away, flustered. Of course, he's yours, Ava. You gave birth to him. Whose else could he be? You're still lying to me. Ava threw a stack of papers in his face. It was his medical file from a previous checkup. All your blood tests show that you are type B. Leo was stunned, but still tried to argue. Maybe the hospital made a mistake. Blood types can get mixed up easily. Ava, don't overthink this. Once might be a mistake, but this many times? All of them wrong? Leo, tell me the truth. Is this the child I gave birth to? Ava's voice rose to a furious pitch. She grabbed him by the throat. Leo choked, unable to breathe. Cough. Ava, calm down, I can't breathe. What's going on? Her mother returned and was horrified by the scene. Daughter, are you crazy? What are you doing to Leo? Mom, Leo is type B. Ava released him and looked at her mother. What does blood type matter? Ava's voice was hollow. A type AB mother and a type B father cannot have a type O child. There's only one explanation. That baby is not mine. The words struck her mother like a bolt of lightning. She stared in disbelief at Ava and Leo. Don't scare me, daughter. That's my grandson. I've already ordered a DNA test. We'll have the results soon. Her mother looked like she was about to faint. She rounded on Leo, her voice sharp. Tell me, is that child my daughter's? Leo knew he couldn't hide it any longer. They were in a hospital. They couldn't do anything to him. No, the baby isn't Ava's. He's mine, with another woman. What did you say? He's not a Reed, his mother shrieked, slapping Leo hard across the face. Then where's Ava's baby? What happened to the baby she gave birth to? Leo's cheek stung. He held his reddened face and looked at Ava. Ava, your baby was stillborn. He was dead the day he was born. I didn't want to hurt you, so I passed off my own son as yours. I never thought you'd find out so quickly. If you can't accept it, I'll take him and leave right now. We'll disappear from your lives forever. Dead. Tears streamed down Ava's face. You're telling me my baby was already dead? Leo, why did you lie to me? She struck him again and again. You made me divorce Ethan. You made me lose my real child. And now you think you could just walk away? What? Ava, you and Ethan got divorced. Her mother was shocked. You have to tell me, Ava. Ava handed her mother the divorce decree. Her mother's face went white. How could this happen? Ethan actually divorced you? He loved you so much. How could he agree to this? The Reed Group still needs the Hayes family's connections. Yeah, so you really did get divorced, Leo sneered. Ava, you brought all of this on yourself. If you had just gotten rid of the baby back then, you wouldn't be in this mess today. He pushed past them and headed for the door. Don't try to stop me. From now on, your family's problems have nothing to do with me. You've destroyed my family, and you think you can just leave? Ava's voice was ice. As she spoke, Leo felt a sharp pain in his shoulder and crumpled to the ground, unconscious. Daughter, what are you doing? Her mother was terrified. Don't do anything crazy. Don't break the law. He wanted to be my husband, didn't he? I'll grant his wish. Ava's face hardened, a murderous glint in her eyes. From this day on, lock him in the villa. He is not to leave the property without my permission. And since he wanted his son to be the young master of the Reed family, I'll grant that wish too. The child will stay at the Reed estate. I will make sure he and his son never see each other again. Seeing the look in Ava's eyes, her mother grew worried. Ava, why are you doing this? Ethan isn't the only man in the world. You're divorced. Find someone else. You can have children with another man. No, I don't want anyone but Ethan. Mom, I might not be able to come to the office for a few days. I'll need you and Dad to handle things. What happened at the company? After Ava explained, her mother burst into tears. What have we done to deserve this? My grandson is gone, and now the company is gone. Ava, you have to get Ethan back. I know, Mom. I will. After watching Leo being dragged away, Ava left the hospital. She called everyone she knew who was friends with Ethan, but no one knew where he was. Mark had blocked her too. As a last resort, she thought of Catherine. Catherine was Ethan's only family. She had to know where he was. Ethan's days in Switzerland were peaceful. After his health improved, his daily routine consisted of tending to the garden, taking walks around town, and occasionally exploring the local shops. Catherine's work was demanding and kept her traveling, so she was often gone for days at a time. Victoria, however, became a regular visitor. She came over almost every day to have dinner and chat with Ethan. Are you planning to settle down in Switzerland, Ethan? Victoria asked at the dinner table, looking up at him. Ethan met her gaze. I like it here. I'm thinking about it. Have you thought about what you want to do? She asked with a slight smile. I remember you studied interior design in college. Have you ever considered getting a job in that field? You remember that? Ethan was surprised. He couldn't believe she remembered his college major. When he was applying to colleges, Victoria was already a senior, about to graduate. She only came to their house occasionally, and Ethan had always found her a bit aloof, cold, and serious. Catherine often told him to stay away from her, saying she had a bad temper. But now, she seemed much warmer. I remember everything about you, Ethan. For some reason, hearing her call him Ethan in her soft voice made him feel a strange warmth. It was a first. I've never worked in the field. I don't know if I'd be any good. Ethan looked down at his plate, but Victoria placed a piece of braised rib in his bowl. I bought the house next door. It hasn't been renovated yet. If you want to give it a try, you can use my place as a practice run. You bought the house next door? Ethan was shocked. Just a few days ago, Catherine had told him on the phone that Victoria was just here for a short vacation and would be leaving soon. But it had been almost 2 weeks, and she showed no signs of leaving. Now she had bought a house. What? Are you not happy to have me as a neighbor? The woman looked at him, a gentle, unreadable expression in her eyes. Ethan's heart skipped a beat. He shook his head. No, that's not it. It's your decision to buy a house. It has nothing to do with me. Why would I be unhappy? Victoria didn't say anything, just smiled at him and continued eating. After dinner, she handed him a set of floor plans. Take your time with the design. I'm not in a hurry. Design the kind of house you like. I'll love whatever you do. When she spoke, her lips were always curved in a charming smile. Ethan took the blueprints, trying to calm his racing heart. Okay, I'll see what I can do. As she was leaving, a light rain began to fall. Take an umbrella. It's raining, he said, handing her a floral print umbrella. Victoria took it and stepped outside. But she didn't leave right away. She stood under a street lamp, lit a cigarette, and smoked in silence. Her phone rang. It was Catherine. Victoria Renault, you little devil. Did you really buy a house in Switzerland? Catherine's voice was sharp. Don't tell me you actually have feelings for my brother. I told you, he just got divorced. He's not ready for another relationship. Don't scare him. Victoria's lips curved into a faint smile. You think I'll scare him? Don't think I don't know you. You may be a woman, but you're cunning and domineering. My brother is a gentle soul. He's not for you. I'm hanging up. Victoria ended the call and tilted the umbrella back to look at the man sitting by the window. He was holding a pen, studying the floor plans with a frown. The sight took her back years to the first time she ever saw him. It was the summer he turned 18. He had been sitting just as quietly at a stone table in their garden, filling out his college applications. A breeze had rustled his hair. She had walked past with Catherine, who had casually introduced him. My little brother, Ethan. The boy had looked up, his eyes meeting hers for a fleeting moment. Hello. That one look felt like a lifetime. But by the time she returned from her studies abroad, he was already married. If she hadn't discovered Ava's affair, she probably would have never bothered him again. She pulled her gaze away and dialed another number. How are Ava and that man? Ava is on a plane, most likely heading to Switzerland to find Mr. Hayes. Leo Vance has been locked up by her. Is that so? The woman raised an eyebrow, a cold glint in her eyes. A woman like that didn't deserve to be in Ethan's life. After much searching, Ava finally found out where Ethan was. She booked the next available flight to Switzerland. As she was leaving, She could hear Leo smashing things inside his room. Let me out, Ava. Let me out. This is kidnapping. It's illegal. Where's my son? I want to see my son. He had been making a racket all night, breaking things, banging on the door, disturbing the whole house. But Ava had no intention of letting him go. Leo, remember this. She warned through the door before she left. You chose this. No one forced you. Since you love being in this family so much, you can stay here forever. You're not going anywhere. She paused. And you better pray that I can bring Ethan back. Otherwise, you'll never leave this room. No, Ava, you can't do this to me. If you just open the door, I'll tell you everything. Don't you want to know how that video got leaked? Don't you want to know who sent me to you? Leo screamed desperately. If you let me go, I'll tell you everything. I'm begging you, let me go. Ava stopped. Are you saying someone put you up to this? Yes, it was Victoria Renault. She made me do it. Victoria. Ava had heard the name. The eldest daughter of the Renault family, a friend of Catherine's. But why would she do this? You think I'd believe you? I don't even know her. Why would she go to such lengths to plot against me? Because she's in love with Ethan. Leo sobbed. The night you pulled me into that hotel room, she saw it. She had someone film it. She was the one who made it trend online. Then she found me, found out you were pregnant, and told me to test you, to see if you would keep the baby. I just went along with her plan. She promised me $100 million if Ethan found out the truth and left you. Ava laughed, a cold, disbelieving sound. She couldn't fathom that someone would spend a year orchestrating such an elaborate scheme just to make Ethan divorce her. Victoria Renault, is it? I'll remember that name. Ava, I've told you everything. For the sake of what we once had, please let me out. I really miss my son. Leo collapsed on the floor, weeping. The door opened. Leo's face lit up. You're letting me go? But Ava just coolly removed the emerald ring from his finger. This ring belongs to Ethan. Then, she shut the door in his face. If you want out, you'll have to wait until I get back. Everyone has to pay for their mistakes. Myself included. Ava boarded the flight to Switzerland. The moment she landed, she arranged for a car to take her to Ethan's address. But after a while, she noticed the car was heading further and further into the countryside, in the opposite direction of the GPS. Ethan's house was to the south. They were driving north. Sir, I think you're going the wrong way, she said in fluent English. My destination is here. Ms. Renault wants to see you, the driver said flatly, pulling up to a secluded villa. Before Ava could react, she was dragged out of the car. Get out! Get out! Ms. Renault? Which Ms. Renault? Are you talking about Victoria? Ava was pushed through the door. In the dim light, she saw a woman sitting on a leather sofa. As Ava entered, the woman slowly looked up, revealing a face of stunning, almost predatory beauty. Her features were half hidden in shadow, one hand draped over the armrest, a cigarette held between her slender fingers. Her dark eyes swirled with an unreadable emotion. Ava frowned. She had to admit, this woman's presence was far more powerful than her own. Victoria? Victoria took a drag from her cigarette, her red lips exhaling a cloud of smoke. What are you doing in Switzerland? I want to see Ethan. Where are you hiding him? How dare you speak to Miss Renault like that? Do you have a death wish? Before Ava could react, one of the men beside her struck her behind the knees, forcing her to kneel before Victoria. How dare you touch me? Do you know who I am? I know exactly who you are. Ava Reed, eldest daughter of the Reed family. Ethan's ex-wife. The woman's casual words made Ava's face contort in anger. Ethan? Who gave you the right to call him that? And I am not his ex-wife. We are not divorced. Then whose is this? Victoria tossed a divorce decree at her feet. Ava was stunned. How do you have that? What is your relationship with Ethan? The future holds many possibilities, none of which you are entitled to know. Victoria stubbed out her cigarette in a nearby ashtray. Leave Switzerland immediately, and don't ever appear in front of Ethan again. Faced with such arrogance, Ava sneered. On what authority do you tell me to leave? Victoria, you have no right. I want to see Ethan. I'm going to tell him this was all your scheme, that it was all a lie. Is that so? Victoria raised an eyebrow, her beautiful eyes narrowing. Her voice was elegant, yet laced with threat. Are you saying you sleeping with Leo Vance was a lie? Did someone hold a gun to your head? Ava froze. That was an accident. I was drunk. I thought he was Ethan. Then why did you keep the baby? Why did you lie to Ethan and tell him the baby was gone, while secretly continuing your relationship with Leo for over a year, and secretly give birth to that child? A cold light flashed in Victoria's eyes. Was someone forcing you to do that, too? Yes. It was my mother. My mother forced me to do it. It wasn't what I wanted. I never cared if Ethan could have children with me or not. I just wanted him by my side. TSK, TSK. Seeing her still trying to make excuses, Victoria shook her head. her eyes filled with disdain. Ethan has terrible taste in women. That's why he wasted 5 years of his life on you. But now that I'm here, I won't give you a single opportunity to hurt him again. Leave Switzerland now, or I will make the Reed family disappear from Chicago overnight. Who do you think you are? As soon as the words left Ava's mouth, her mother called. Ava, who did you offend? Was it Ethan? Please, tell him to spare us. Some people just showed up at the house. They said your father was embezzling company funds, and they're taking him to the police station for questioning. Her mother's sobs echoed through the phone, and Ava's face went pale. Victoria, I'll say it one last time, leave Switzerland and never appear in front of Ethan again. Victoria's eyes were half closed, her tone languid, yet it carried an undeniable authority. Ava refused to yield. She had come all this way. She wouldn't leave without at least seeing him. I won't. Please don't do this. You can't take my husband. Ava, they're taking your father away. Do something. Her mother's desperate cries made Ava's face tighten with anguish. Victoria, if you have a problem, take it out on me. Don't hurt my parents. The offer remains the same. Leave Switzerland. The woman's voice was lazy. She glanced at the time. It was getting late. Time to go get dinner. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3. Her mother screamed on the other end of the line. Don't take him. His health is poor. He can't go to jail. Ava, you have to do something. What's wrong? Honey, don't scare me. If you die, I'll die too. 1. I'll go. Ava looked up, her eyes filled with despair. I promise you, I'll leave Switzerland. I will never appear in front of Ethan again. Please let my father go. Good. That's better. Victoria stood up and glanced at the woman kneeling on the floor. You two, get her out of here. Ava pulled the heirloom ring from her pocket. Wait, can you give this to Ethan? Victoria looked down at the ring in her hand, a faint smile playing on her lips. Why should I do that for you? Consider it compensation. It's my family's heirloom. Ethan did so much for me, and I only ever hurt him. This ring is valuable. He can give it away or do whatever he wants with it. It's the least I can do. Victoria laughed. Keep the ring. Ethan will have something much better. With that, she turned and left. As Victoria's figure disappeared, Ava's hand tightened around the ring, her face a mask of regret. Let's go, Ms. Reed. Don't dawdle. Please, can you just let me see Ethan from a distance? Just from far away. I swear I won't let him see me. Ava pleaded with the men, but one of them shoved her hard. Do you think anyone dares to disobey Ms. Renault's orders? You still want to see Mr. Hayes? He's going to be part of the Renault family soon. You should give up that fantasy. We're taking you to the airport now. Let me just use the restroom before we go. That's not too much to ask, is it? In the restroom, Ava took out a small piece of paper and a pen. She wrote a short message and tucked it into a tiny, hidden compartment on the back of the ring. No one knew about the secret latch on the Reed family heirloom. Even if Ethan never forgave her, she couldn't let him be with a manipulator. Ava was taken away. Ethan never knew she had been in Switzerland. At the airport, Ava ran into Catherine. The moment Catherine saw her, she exploded, slapping Ava hard across the face. You have the nerve to come to Switzerland. Haven't you hurt Ethan enough? What are you doing here? Catherine, Ava began, but Catherine slapped her again. Don't you call me that. My brother divorced you. I have nothing to do with you, you bitch. Ava's lip was bleeding, but she didn't fight back. She knew she deserved it. I'm sorry. I know I wronged Ethan, but I just want to see him. Please, I'm begging you, just let me see him. She grabbed Catherine's arm. Before Catherine could reply, 2 men pulled Ava away. Catherine recognized them as Victoria's men. Don't worry, Ms. Hayes. We're escorting her out now. We won't let her get anywhere near Mr. Hayes. Let's go. Move it. Ava was pushed through security. Catherine watched her go, a slight frown on her face. It seemed that little devil Victoria was really serious about her brother. When she left the airport, her driver was waiting. What has my brother been up to these past few days? Catherine asked eagerly. Sir has been designing Ms. Renault's house. Ms. Renault has been with him every day. He seems to be in good spirits. She often takes him out to dinner, to the opera, to art galleries. He's been smiling a lot more. Oh, really? Catherine raised an eyebrow. Victoria wasn't a bad choice. She was only 5 years older than Ethan, and she was mature, stable, and accomplished. Aside from being a bit manipulative and sharp-tongued, she didn't seem to have any other flaws. The Renault family was powerful and influential. If Ethan married her, he would likely be very happy. When Catherine got home, Ethan was showing Victoria his design plans. They were leaning close together by the window. Ethan was pointing to a spot on the blueprint. Here, I'm thinking of designing a small garden with a few different varieties of roses. At the word roses, a flicker of sadness crossed his face. Victoria noticed it. She looked down at his nearly perfect profile and said softly, "How about we plant some sunflowers instead?" The language of sunflowers is to face life with positivity and light. Is it? Ethan turned and met her gaze. They were so close he could feel her breath on his cheek. Victoria looked up into his deep, dark eyes, which seemed to pull her in like a vortex. Her cheeks flushed and her heart began to race. She couldn't help it. Ethan was incredibly handsome, even more so than when she'd first met him as a teenager. Any woman would blush in his presence. Victoria's intense gaze made Ethan a little uncomfortable. "Have you seen enough, Victoria?" "I have," she said with a soft smile. I'll go get a glass of water." She quickly stood up, but her foot caught on the leg of the table, and she stumbled. "Ah!" she cried out, but the expected pain never came. A strong arm wrapped around her waist, steadying her. She looked up and saw a playful smile on his lips. Her face turned an even deeper shade of red. "You're very clumsy, Victoria." "Thank you." Victoria quickly stood up and pushed him away. As she was about to get some water, the front door opened, and Catherine walked in with a bag of roasted chestnuts. "Ethan!" "Catherine!" Ethan's face lit up. "You're back." "Of course, silly boy. Did you miss me?" Catherine handed him the chestnuts. "These are for you." "Thanks, Catherine. You remembered I like chestnuts. I remember everything about you." Catherine was about to pull another gift from her pocket when her fingers brushed against a ring. She pulled it out, frowning. "What's this? When did this get in my pocket?" At the sight of the ring, both Victoria and Ethan's expressions changed. The bag of chestnuts fell from Ethan's hand. Victoria strode over, snatched the ring from Catherine, and threw it in the trash. "Catherine, next time you come in, check your pockets first. Otherwise, don't bother coming in at all." Seeing Victoria's dark expression, Catherine bristled. "Hey, you little devil, this is my house, not yours. What are you even doing here? Get out." "Catherine, you saw Ava, didn't you? She came to Switzerland." Ethan's voice was strained. It was only then that Catherine realized the ring belonged to Ava. Had she slipped it into her pocket when she got close to her at the airport? "I'm sorry, Ethan. I don't know when she put this in my pocket. If you don't like it, I'll throw it away." "Don't." Ethan picked the ring out of the trash. As he was about to hand it to Catherine, his finger accidentally pressed the hidden latch on the back. A tiny, folded piece of paper fell out. On it was a single line of text. "I know Victoria's secret. Ethan, I don't want you to be deceived. Call me." Seeing the note, Ethan's brow furrowed. A secret? What secret could Victoria have? Why would Ava say that? He clenched the note in his hand, forcing himself to calm down. "I need to be alone for a minute." Watching him go upstairs, Victoria's expression grew heavy. The mention of Ava still affected him. It seemed she still had a long way to go. Catherine was also filled with regret. If it weren't for her, the ring would have never appeared. She cursed herself. Ethan went to his room. He stared at his phone for a long time before finally dialing Ava's number. "Hello." Her voice was trembling. Ethan said nothing. "Ethan, is that you? It's you, right? What do you want to say to me?" Ethan's voice was cold. Her heart ached at his tone. "Ethan, I want to see you." "That's not possible. If you have nothing else to say, I'm hanging up." "No, wait, listen to me," Ava said quickly. "Victoria is a liar. She orchestrated everything. She was the one who secretly filmed me and Leo and had it leaked online. After I got pregnant, I was going to get rid of the baby, but she sent Leo to me. That's why I kept him. She's in love with you, so she's willing to do anything to get you. She's been trying to destroy our relationship all along. Please don't be fooled by her, Ethan." His hand holding the phone trembled. His mind went blank. The video wasn't leaked by a business rival. Leo was working for Victoria. She was in love with him. When? Why didn't he know any of this? "Ethan, I'm the only one who truly loves you in this world. Victoria doesn't deserve you. Are you finished?" Ethan sneered. "You truly love me? The fact is you cheated. The fact is you didn't get rid of Leo's child. So what if Victoria arranged it all? You were the one who couldn't resist the temptation and slept with another man. Ava, can you honestly say that was the only time you were with him?" Ava was speechless. She had been with Leo more than once. "You say Victoria doesn't deserve me? But I think her love is more honest than yours has ever been. Don't contact me again. I don't want to hear your voice ever again." "No, Ethan, I have nothing left. I only have you. You can't do this to me. My baby died. That child wasn't even mine. I really can't live without you." "Ava's baby died?" Ethan frowned. He could hear the genuine pain in her voice. But he felt nothing. "Your problems have nothing to do with me. I don't want to know anything about them in the future." When Ethan made that call, he didn't know Victoria was standing right outside his door. She had been worried about him and had come upstairs, only to overhear their conversation. A beautiful smile curved her lips. She raised an eyebrow. That was the man she had chosen. So clear-headed, She smiled, satisfied, and went back downstairs. After hanging up, Ethan also went downstairs. He wanted to confront Victoria, but when he saw her chatting with Catherine, his anger dissipated. He should be thanking Victoria. If it wasn't for her, he might have been kept in the dark forever. Ethan walked over and handed the ring to Catherine. Catherine, please return this to Ava. It's her family's heirloom. It's not right to just throw it away, but I never want to see her again. Don't worry, you won't. The moment she landed in Switzerland, Victoria had her sent back. She never got a chance to see you. Catherine was relieved. Thank God for Victoria. She had stopped Ava before Ethan could be hurt again. Is that so? Ethan looked at Victoria. A gentle smile played on her lips. If you want to repay me, I wouldn't be opposed to you offering yourself. You little devil. Catherine playfully punched her on the shoulder. I told you you'll scare my brother. Victoria laughed and corrected herself. What I meant was just do a good job designing my house. Ethan looked at the two women, both so concerned for him, and finally smiled. Thank you, Catherine. And thank you, Victoria. Whatever Victoria had done, her feelings were genuine, and he was genuinely grateful to her. After the phone call, Ava was inconsolable. She couldn't believe Ethan would side with Victoria. He would never forgive her. When she landed, she went straight home, her face swollen and bruised. The house was in chaos. Her parents weren't there. Her father had collapsed from high blood pressure and had been rushed to the hospital. Her mother had gone with him. The housekeeper saw her and rushed over. Ma'am, the baby is gone. What? Ava looked up, her voice a roar. I told you to watch him. I was watching him, but then a group of police officers came to the house. We were all being questioned outside. When I went back to the room, the baby was gone. Ava's phone rang nonstop. She answered it. What is it? Ma'am, Mr. Vance is gone. We can't find him anywhere. We don't know when he left his room. The dinner we sent up yesterday hasn't even been touched. Ava threw her phone against the wall in despair. I ask you to watch one man and one child, and you can't even do that? Useless. All of you are useless. Go find him now. Leo had taken the baby and fled Chicago in the middle of the night. He tried to contact the baby's birth mother, but his calls went unanswered. He had no choice but to take a bus out of the city. He was too afraid of Ava to risk taking a train or a plane. Halfway through the journey, the bus was stopped by Ava's men. The moment Leo saw her, his face filled with terror. Ava, I'm begging you, please let me go. Let me go. I swear I'll never show my face to you again. I won't bother you and your husband ever again. Husband? Aren't you my husband? In front of the other passengers, Ava gently took the baby from his arms. There, honey. Let's go home. You're not well. You can't be running around with the baby. I'm not sick. I'm not. Let go of me. Help. Somebody help me. I'm so sorry, Ava said to the other passengers. My husband has some mental health issues. I apologize for the delay. With a single look, two of her men escorted Leo off the bus. Back at the estate, Ava had Leo committed to a psychiatric hospital. As for the baby, since her mother wanted him, she let her raise him. This was what Leo wanted after all. She had to grant his wish. He had ruined her life. Did he really think he could just walk away free? What a joke. After that, she never remarried. 5 years later, she saw a news report about Victoria and Ethan on TV. Victoria Renault, heiress to the Renault fortune, hosted a wedding of the century in Switzerland yesterday. The groom is Ethan Hayes, brother of Catherine Hayes, CEO of Hayes Industries. This is Mr. Hayes' second marriage. His ex-wife, Ava Reed, notoriously cheated on him and had a child with another man. Mr. Hayes immediately filed for divorce and moved to Switzerland, where he met Ms. Renault. After a 5-year courtship, the two have finally tied the knot. They are currently deciding where to spend their honeymoon. Will they return to the States? Will they ever come back to Chicago? He's married. Ava stared at the television, a sharp pain stabbing her heart. She waited, hoping to catch a glimpse of the face she had longed to see for 5 years. But the news report ended without showing a single picture of Ethan. A honeymoon, right? Ethan might come back to the States for his honeymoon. I have to wait for him. Ava waited for a long time, but he never came. She never knew that Ethan and Victoria traveled the world and that they did return to the States. But Victoria protected him so well that Ava never even knew he had been back. The day Ethan finally left Chicago for good, his plane flew over a vast field of flowers. It was planted with the same white roses he had once grown for Ava. But he no longer liked white roses. He preferred sunflowers now. Sometimes you think you'll have 1,000 more chances to see someone, never knowing that the last time was the last time.